You are now listening to a 302 Birds podcast experience, proudly powered by Tick Pick, Cutbet, El Diablo Burritos, Nick's Pizza, and Klondike Kate's on the heart of Main Street.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 302 Birds. We have a stacked podcast for you guys tonight. As always, we always do, but we have a new segment for you guys, a new personality, to say the least, on the podcast. We'll get into that in a few, but our boy Decker Locks in the house. We're going to have some fun with that later, but before we get into that, we're actually going to be doing a call-in, so I guess just for simplicity, I'll hit that intro, and then Jack, take it away.
What do I want when I'm in the state of Delaware? Of course, El Diablo Burritos. Customer service always is serving your food with a smile on their face, asking how your day is, but their food is phenomenal as well. Their burritos are out of this world, one of the best burritos in town. Their queso is phenomenal. Their burrito bowls are amazing as well. When you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos and tell them that 302 Birds sent you. God bless, go Birds.
Thank you, El Diablo Burritos, for that sponsorship. Tonight's call we have is Esri Rozier.
We've all seen this brutal upcoming schedule for our Philadelphia Eagles after the bye. At Chiefs, Bills, 49ers, at Cowboys, at Seahawks. But regarding these next three games in particular, and this is going to make me sound like a homer, I do believe the Eagles will win these next three games. So first off, we go to Kansas City for a Super Bowl rematch with the defending champion Chiefs on Monday Night Football. I believe the Eagles will win this game because the Chiefs are a very strange team this year. Like, as opposed to previous seasons, their offense does not scare you. The Chiefs' offense is not scary anymore. They have Travis Kelce, and that's pretty much it when it comes to the weapons. Like, once you stop Travis Kelce, this team's offense falls flat. Like, they really cannot do anything for large periods of time on offense. When you look at the Chiefs this year, it's really their defense that's been giving them these wins. Like, they're 7-2 because they have a very strong defense. The Jaguars, the Broncos, and the Dolphins all lost to the Chiefs because of Kansas City's strong defense. And when you look at the weapons besides Travis Kelce, they're really not dependable. These receivers, they're very prone to dropping passes. Like you saw all the way back in week 1, the NFL kickoff game when they lost to the Detroit Lions. Like this team, once you take away Travis Kelce, they really struggle on offense. And I think the Eagles are going to take advantage of that. They're going to key in on Travis Kelce. And I also think that they will be motivated by what happened back in February. We all remember the heartbreak of the Super Bowl loss. And I think this team is going to get up for this game on Monday night and get the win in Kansas City. Now, after that, we got the Bills. And the Bills, I just mentioned how the Chiefs have offensive issues. That doesn't even compare to what the Bills are going through right now. This team's offense is a mess. They're 5-5. They just lost to the Denver Broncos at home on Monday Night Football.
It doesn't even compare. Like he said, that much that we're looking down on the Bills. The gauntlet is almost over. Was it easier than we thought, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yeah,
Hold on. How can we say, was it easier? We haven't gotten through it yet. We played one of the 4 or 5 games that we said was the gauntlet. How can we say it was easier?
We played the Dolphins and we played the Cowboys.
Okay, it's 2 games.
2 games that we thought were going to be. The Cowboys game was extremely challenging, but I'm just looking forward to the I'm looking forward to the next 3 games. And at the beginning of the season, we thought these teams were going to be top of the top, but the Bills are as mediocre as you can get in the NFL. And the Chiefs only perform well when Taylor Swift is in. I hate to say it, when she's in the audience, and she's not. She won't be. She's on tour down in South America.
No,
for the next
she
3
will
weeks.
be.
I don't think she will.
She already said she would be at this game.
Well, anyway, so that means it's a loss. No.
And this is a weird. Feel like for these powerhouses that have always kind of been the powerhouse in the past, 2-3 years, the Bills aren't playing that great. Josh Allen has thrown so many interceptions. Same with with Patrick Mahomes as well. Like, these powerhouse teams, other than the 49ers, I'm a little sketchy about that. But like the Chiefs, I think we'll take that easily because I know how Jalen Hurts is. Like he has that redemption mindset that came up so close in the Super Bowl and lost to the Chiefs that he's gonna, it was beautiful that we beat the Cowboys and had this break from games and things like that. I think we will come out strong. I mean, we should be all healthy. I think Jalen Hurts, his knee should be all good. But the Bills, I mean, the only team out of these next 3 games I'm worried about are the 49ers. The Bills aren't playing well. The Chiefs lost to the Broncos as well. And it just seems like all these teams that have been that great, previously, like last season, are taking it to the Chiefs and the Bills. So I'm not too worried about it. And I'm excited to see what we can do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even worried about the 49ers in all honesty. I mean, they lost. We keep forgetting they lost 3 games in a row. Like, yeah, they came back and they had a good game this weekend, but like we can't forget the fact that they lost 3 in a row. And the Eagles have lost 1 the entire season. So it's like I just feel like us as a team, we're just better. And I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, and like I've said before, these big games when we need to perform, the Eagles perform. Where these questionable games like that one loss to the Jets, we didn't play as well. But I think these big games like the Dolphins, we stopped them. They only had 17 points, 15 points or whatever. So I think when the games matter, I think the Eagles will finally, get back together, I can't even talk right now. Get it back together. And Brian Johnson, this is a whole week of no games, just practice. And I think this offense, like Sean said last week, that they're going to come out firing all cylinders. So I think this is going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a wipe. I think it's probably going to be, 3-point game. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think I saw a report that this week they're practicing full on pads, like hitting and everything. They're trying to get back, no rest.
Lana said it on WIP yesterday.
Yeah, dude.
What do you think of that ballpark? Old school, huh? You like that? We got
knocking over the wrist.
Knocking over the rest. Yeah, get out there on the gridiron. I like it.
I do have one rebuttal to you two. When you look into the details is what scares me a little bit though still. So I agree the Chiefs are going to be a close game and the Buffalo Bills are self-imploding. Couldn't agree with you guys more. Where I start to be like a little bit is I believe the 49ers have like that mini bye where they play Thursday night football, then like they have a little bit of a longer week to prepare because then they play us. And so do the Cowboys. Which scares me a bit in the sense of their guys are going to get a little over a week of rest and a little bit over a week of preparation time to prep against you. And just seeing that also puts a little bit of doubt in my mind.
Yeah, and I think the next 4 games, I think we'll go 3-4. I think we're going to lose to the Cowboys. I mean, we've seen back in their home field, that's the only game that matters. It always is a fight when we play the Cowboys, and typically they always bring it to us when we play on their home field. So that's the game that, I'm just going to chuck up for an L, but I think we should easily win these next 3 games and go into the Cowboys being 10-1? 10-1?
Sure.
11-1. Yeah. So
11-1.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah. So yes. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. That's all I got to say.
It's the fucking Gauntlet.
What
I think this was that? I'll be the one that say that this is job ain't done. I'm with Tom, but like this was a lot easier than we thought it would be. Like when you think about it, Matt kind of hit the nail on the head. I thought that the Miami game would give us more problems, and I really thought that the way that this season had started, I didn't think that we would convincingly, like we did, win both of those games. And now with the Bills self-imploding, the 49ers not really having a team and us doing what we did last year, and the Chiefs game being right around the corner, and like you guys said, their offense not being what it is, I think it's possible to go 5-0. throughout the gauntlet. And if you would have told me in the beginning of the year that this team would have went 5-0 through this 5-game series, I would have looked at you and laughed in your face. But the way that the Eagles are playing, the Eagles only beat themselves. The Eagles' worst enemy is the Philadelphia Eagles. So as long as they don't get in the way of themselves, I really think that they have a chance to win these last 3 games. And that's freaking a really good thing to say going into the Super Bowl. You have the opportunity to bring the playoffs through Philadelphia. Don't mess that up, Birds. And exciting for sure. But I want to thank El Diablo and our guy, Ezri Rozier, for doing a call-in tonight with us. But yeah, it's been a little bit a while since we've gotten to do this segment, so I'm excited to, as Tom said himself, knock some rust off. We finally have some Phillies news. So without further ado, blowing the dust off of it.
Time for Phillies talk with Ballpark Tommy.
Dinger stitch. Dutch. The hot stove, as they say in baseball, is a heating up. Free agency's in full swing, and we have loads of rumors. Could Nola be coming back, Dutch? Could he be going down south? Could he be going to a rival? Could he be staying in the AL or NL? Could he be going to the AL? We don't know. But what we do know from this week, so in baseball, when you have a guy who came up through your system and stayed the whole part of his contract, you can give what's called a qualifying offer, which is a general, like a mediator goes to the Players Association and explains and takes like, okay, this is what the average MLB player of your caliber made per year, or we're going to offer you this on a 1-year deal. It's baseball's version of a franchise tag. But the Phillies, and as expected, Aaron Nola declined it this year. And now it's the free agency market. So where he ends up, nobody knows.
Hey, Tom, I have a question for you. Here's essentially what I'm going to be doing to the Ballpark Tommy segment. For those of you listening on Spotify, I'm showing a video of a gentleman pouring gasoline on a fire. Tom, which of these teams would fire you up the most or piss you off the most if Nola were to leave the Philadelphia Phillies and join them? Out of the 4 teams on the graphic right there, or 3, I'm sorry. But like, you got the Braves, the Yankees, and the Cardinals. Would one really get personal for you?
The Braves, without a doubt. It's your interdivision rival. It's the team that you've knocked out of the playoffs the last 2 years, so there's going to be bad blood already between us and them. It's not going. It's going to be the team that if he goes there, it's the only way he gets booed when he comes back. He did his job when he was here. He did everything. We loved him when he was here. He got us through the dark parts of the Phillies rebuild over those 10 years between playoff runs. And if he were to go to the Braves, I think people would genuinely boo him when he comes back. And I think that he did it to himself, and I couldn't even feel bad for him if he went to the Braves for that.
I would have a very large problem with Aaron Nola if that were to happen. You can't do that. You can't just go to the Braves. I mean, like, you know, you're in the Phillies organization for the past 11 years, and then you go to the team that you hate the most. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And that's when just the money speaks, and you're just like, come on, you're better than that. I don't think he will. I really do think that we'll see Aaron Nola in a Phillies jersey next season. I think that he wants to finish his career in Philly, and I think the Phillies want him to finish his career in Philly. He's definitely going to listen to the market, but I think that, you know, he started here, and I think he wants to finish here, and I think in the end that's going to be the deciding factor with where he decides to go.
Well said. I couldn't agree with you more. Especially the way he talked about how he finally got a hold of like how the fans react. He like truly embraced how Philadelphia reacts to the big guys and big moments, producing in those big moments. And it's as he walked off the mound in the playoffs, both in the wild card round and the NLDS round, and the NLCS round. He said after each time, hey, we get standing ovation for his starts. That was it for him. That was his like, this is what baseball is all about moment type of thing. And so I couldn't agree with you more that he's probably, I would hope he comes back. He's the one guy when I looked at the list of like top 10 free agents that MLB.com put out this year that I went, he's the only one I'm like, he'll probably end up going back to the team he was with. But everyone else, I'm like, they spin the wheel, see where they land type of thing.
Now, are you on board with, bringing him back and going out and getting another pitcher as well? Or do you think so who would you go for? Like Sonny Gray or,
So Sonny Gray, I think, is a good number 4 guy. The guy who I would love to see is the guy from Japan. He's that old school, like Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay type. He'll get you 9-10 innings if need be. He threw 150 pitches, still was cranking 99 in the clincher of the Japanese version of the World Series. Like, this dude is legit. This dude is he pumps gas. He has crazy movement on all his pitches. He's gonna give you that stamina. He is, I think, the next like great thing to come out of Japan. Like Ohtani was the last great thing to come out of Japan. He's the next great thing. And I like, we had that one good rookie outfielder in Boston this year, but he's not going to be anything near what Yamamoto is going to be at. Yamamoto scares me because he talks about possibly signing with the Mets, and that scares me because he's going to have a long career. He's going to throw lots of innings. He's going to be absolutely filthy, and I could see him winning multiple Cy Youngs. He's that pitcher that, like, you're like, oh, Steve Carlton, oh, Cy Young, oh, these guys who were throwing 500 somewhat innings until their arm fell off. Oh, it's the 17th inning. Oh, you hear that sound? Yeah, it's the bullpen calling myself in to pitch another inning. That's like what he's like. So as a purist baseball fan, like, he gets me excited talking about him. Yeah,
just got to remember it's the Mets. There's nothing to be scared about. It's nothing to be scared about.
Look at DeGrom.
How do you feel about Reese going to the Cubs?
I feel like it just makes me sad. He's one of those guys, like, you saw how he treat the fans. I heard a lot of sports writers talk this week. They're like sad to say, like, yeah, he's probably going because Bryce pretty much confirmed he's playing first base next year. And it's just sad because he's just genuinely a good guy. Hey, and he's a good baseball player too. He's not the guy on the cover of Sports Illustrated by any means, and he's not the guy plastering Sports Center every night or MLB Tonight or anything like that. But he got you 30 home runs. It would get you 70 to 80 RBIs each year, which is phenomenal and what you want out of like a 4-hole hitter. But most importantly, he was just a genuinely good guy. Like, we don't always talk about that in sports. We don't always talk about the humanity side of it, but he's just genuinely a good guy. And like, his wife during the last year and the year before his playoff runs was buying whole sections of Philly sports fans and beers for the night. Like, she's buying hundreds of beers at a time just to just to be involved with the fans and the people. Jamie Hoskins still works for Philly's charity. She's giving back, even though her husband might not even be on the team next year. She still works for Philly's charity. She's trying to give back and do good with the community. Like, Reese and Jamie Hoskins are just two good people, so it breaks my heart to see him leave.
Sounds like we're going to have a Reese Salucci coming in the future one day. Tom's going to name his kid
Thank you. Go on about this.
I thought it would be Bryce Salucci all this time. Maybe LeBron, like that. Bryce LeBron Salucci was a wild card name for me, but I mean, hey, I'll I'll take Reese Hoskins Salucci. That's a good name.
Yep.
Yeah,
Big Sean, how you
Go ahead,
feeling about
Sean.
Reese Hoskins leaving?
Yeah. It's a sad time in Philadelphia sports because, I mean, I saw him come up through the minors with the Phillies. I met him in Reading. He's a great guy, like Tommy was going on and on and on about. And yeah, I mean, I was going to name my dog after this guy. I was going to name my dog Hoskins. And my brother picked a name. It was just Cooper. But yeah, I mean, it's just he's a good ball player, but I would take Bryce Harper's glove and defense, I should say, any day of the week over his. And his bat, of course. I mean, I would take Bryce Harper's bat over him. But I thought they were going to try to work him out on a short-term deal because he's cheap. But obviously that's not the what's happening right now, and I think they just want to move on.
I think if Reese were to go to the Cubs, I would be happy that he went to the Cubs and not any other team. Because the Cubs fan base is just as, loyal and diehard as Philadelphia is, and I think that they would give him the respect that he deserves as the player and person that he is. I don't want him going to, like, San Diego or, like, Denver or anything like that. Like, I think Chicago would just – the Cubs, not the White Sox, the Cubs – I think that would be a good destination for him if he were to be leaving Philly. So like I would be happy in the sense that it's kind of like, like you're fostering a child and like you finally find that family that's going to like take him, like your kid, and you're like, that's a good family. I'm happy for him. We fostered Reese Hoskins and now he's going to flutter like a butterfly somewhere else. And you just got to be proud of him.
He's going to spread his wings and just be I'm trying to save you. I'm trying here. But absolutely. He's not going to a rival. He's going to someone within our league, but it is what it is. It's the price of doing business. And the business of sports is sometimes a dirty and sad one. But on to our next thing. Speaking of sad news.
What's the news with it? I mean, it's changing every minute. So for those listening, Kelly Oubre, we hear the other night, he's in a car accident. Obviously, prayers are up. But today, now there's rumors swirling around recently that it's a cover-up for something, allegedly. I don't really know what to believe. I don't know why someone would make this up, personally. But if it's true, obviously we're praying for Kelly Oubre. If it's a cover-up for something, I guess, I don't know if it would be worse or better if there would be some kind of cover-up for something, if there would be jail time. I don't know. I have no clue. So it's really confusing as a fan right now. We're recording this Wednesday night at 9:30, so everything is really, really fresh. But regardless, I mean, Tyrese Maxey, him being lost on the team, I mean, I don't think that your teammates would seem that affected by it. Regardless, Maxey dropping 50 the other night. The Sixers are they 9-1 now?
9-2 because they lost to Indiana last night.
Regardless, off to a fantastic start. I don't think anybody was really expecting them to get this hot this quick. But, I mean, it's been fun watching this team all year. Big Sean, what's been your favorite part about this young Sixers team this year?
I like the way that Nick Nurse is taking this team under his wing. He's a great coach, and he's the first real coach that we've had in a while. I mean, Brett Brown was all right, but Doc Rivers, Glenn Rivers, he did nothing. And now you see this team I'm looking at the screen right now. It's 99-98. Boston's up with 5 minutes left. But, yeah, big game tonight. And, yeah, I mean, it's just a young group of guys, and you're getting the most out of Embiid while he can. But, yeah, I mean, it just doesn't seem like they're struggling at all without Harden. Harden was the problem, in my opinion. Harden was holding them back for the longest time. And, yeah, that's all I have to say about the Sixers right now. But, I mean, Kelly Oubre, going back to that, Yeah, I did see reports. The police have no evidence of him getting hit by a car, and they would be able to find that in a heartbeat. So they're thinking that he made a cover up, and he was at the place in a place at the wrong time, doing something horrible probably, or just getting in a fight, and he wanted to cover it up. But I don't know why you would want to cover it up by saying that you got hit by a car. And yeah, if it is that case where he did cover it up, yeah, he's going to get suspended and most likely fined.
So the Sixers have a strong start this year, right? Are we, putting all our eggs in one basket, or are we still like, fretting when it comes around playoff time that we're going to be a second round out? I know a lot of people have said Nick Nurse has changed his team's momentum around since Doc and what's his name? Who's Brett Brown.
Brett Brown.
So do we think that they're legit this year, or are we just saying that now and then they're gonna upset us? Like, how are we feeling right now? I know it's beginning of the season about these Sixers.
I'm feeling really good, and I think the reason that I am is because when I watch them, I'm like fairly confident in what they're doing. I think Nick Nurse makes decisions on the run, unlike Doc did, unlike Brett Brown did. And I think that like he knows the game of basketball, and like he knows how to win games. He's had, a high-powered offense before with that Toronto Raptors. Yeah, the Raptors lineup with Kawhi and Fred Van Vliet and all of them. And I think, he's kind of what this team needed. He's playing Joel Embiid down low, which Doc refused to do. He's letting Maxey, play point guard. Not having Harden, I think, is helping a lot with that. I just like, his rotations. And if there's a rotation that's not working, then he switches it up. It's not a one rotation thing like Doc did. Every game I see a different look. They're playing different defenses. They're switching things up. And I think that's going to benefit this team a lot, because in the playoffs, what hurt them the most is they would become extremely one-sided. They would do the same thing over and over and over again, even if it wasn't working. And I do think that, Nick Nurse is going to change that kind of morale on this team.
Yeah, I mean, what you said there is like Nick Nurse has definitely. I haven't really watched many games this year, but from what I've heard, Nick Nurse knows how to adapt to certain situations. He knows how to, if something's not working, we can try something else. Whereas Doc was just very one-sided. This is who we're going to play. We're going to play Joel Embiid for the whole game, sit him for like 5 minutes, whatever, and just kind of rely on him. But I feel like that with Nick Nurse, it just seems different. I mean, we are kind of adapting to certain situations that we weren't adapting to last season. And I don't really think we've had a coach like this in a long time. So, I mean, I'm excited. I'm still kind of like fuck Sixers right now because I'm just so upset, being a fan, what has happened the past 6 years. So as soon as, I mean, we'll see how this season goes on, but I mean, I'm excited to see what we can do with this new coach and this high power offense.
Although I will say, I do like especially with his offense, it moves. Like, if you looked last year at Doc Rivers' offense, we stood around till there was 10 seconds left on the shot clock every time.
Very static, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we had James Harden play iso ball, and then if he needed Embiid, then he passed the ball. Whereas this year, we're moving, move your feet. I feel like he's almost like that CYO coach, where it's like the dad and Del coach going, move. Like, come on, move around.
Get it! Get the fuck in there! Let's go!
Like, that's what Nick Nurse is doing. And it's
which we kind of need. I mean, not
you
be
have
as static
speed on your side.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like we haven't really used that to our advantage with Doc Rivers. But
Joel doesn't need the speed because he's so freaking big.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I mean, that's all we
I had
got.
to throw
Anything
it
else
on
you
for
guys want to
tonight.
say?
There you go.
Sixers. Oh, throwback. I love it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all I can think about. If anyone else has anything to say about the Sixers.
Nope. I don't even want to talk about them anymore. I mean, I don't want to jinx it in that kind of way. You know what I mean? But hey, what's the deal with this whole Chiefs Christmas thing that's going on? Travis Kelce, a Chief, is on a Philly special Christmas special. I don't know how I feel about that. I listened to the song today. I feel like it's a drinking song on a boat. But the more I listen to it, the more I like it. Apparently, Shard said in our group chat that it's a popular New York Christmas song. I did not know that. I don't associate with New York. No, I'm kidding. But it's great to hear that, and it's cool that they're doing a parody. My question is, what does T Swizzle think of this? Her man stepping in her territory. She's the singer. He's the athlete. So how's she going to feel about him now being, a singer dropping it? Obviously, we know Kelce can drop it. But now Kelce, the other Kelce coming on the album. Are you guys cool with this? Does this feel evil to you too, or am I exaggerating?
I think you're exaggerating. I fucking love Travis Kelce. I love that man. He's a great player. He's a good person. I don't hate him. I think out of all of the tight ends in the league, that's not an Eagle. I love Travis Kelce. I love that man. He is hilarious. I listen to New Heights. I love that podcast. So I love it. I really do love it. I think this is kind of foreshadowing, him trying to be part of his brother's, final career here in Philadelphia. Because it just seems like proof is in the pudding that, this is Kelce's last year. But I do love it. I mean, the way they interact with each other. I mean, at the end of the day, you play, 60 minutes of football on the field, and then at the end of the day, it's like rugby. You come back and you're like best friends. I don't think it's just nice to bring another voice in. They're getting a lot of new guests in this, and they're trying to blow this up. So I don't mind it. I actually enjoy it. He's a good singer as well.
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet, but I mean, I think the way that I look at it is, Jason Kelce has propelled himself to, being the most liked athlete in Philadelphia. And like that automatically puts Travis Kelce as the most liked athlete that's not in Philadelphia. Like I like Travis Kelce just as much as I like Jason Kelce, just because I think they're both really good people. And I, like you said, Jack, I think Travis is funny as hell. And I think they have the same morals. So like, I don't know why I wouldn't like him other than the fact that he plays on the Chiefs. Like if I met Travis Kelce in person, I would be like fanboying over him. I'd be like, holy shit, it's Travis Kelce. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So like I haven't listened to the song yet, but I'm really looking forward to listening to it and, hopefully enjoying it. I've heard good things about it though. So.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Kelces have always been rooted in Philadelphia. We had Andy Reid coaching Jason Kelce for a couple years, and then Andy Reid drafted Travis Kelce to the Chiefs. So he's always been connected with Philadelphia, through Andy Reid, and I mean, I think it's not that big of a deal. I mean, if Dak Prescott was on there, that would be an issue. I would have to question that, and I wouldn't listen to it. So,
and I do want to bring in someone real quick. All that he wants for Christmas this year. I know a lot of people in the background have been waiting for this man. He's eating a chicken tonight, a rotisserie chicken live. That's all he wanted for Christmas. Welcome to the podcast, the new segment, our betting guy, the man, the myth, the legend, Decker Locks.
Thank you guys for making the time for me. I just had to get out of my FanDuel and DraftKings call. They want me in, giving everybody actually they want me away from them because I give everybody winners. And I'm just here with the rotisserie chicken, just trying to give out locks, man. I'm hungry, man.
Let's talk about your 5-legger Luger. I mean, you put together a $100 turns into a $800 parlay for us as you're, eating like a gentleman right now. But why don't you tell us about your parlay first, and then we'll get into it. We got some action here.
Yeah. First things first, I am not putting $100 on it. But if you did put $100, it would turn into $800. All right, so tomorrow we've got a very important divisional game. I like gun to my head, I have no idea who's going to win. So in these cases, these tight division games where two teams coming off a loss, both desperate for a win for the loaded AFC divisional seeding, you need to win this game. So that's why we're going to start off with the first leg. That's why the Ravens are at home. They're a very good team this year. I still don't really trust Lamar in the playoffs, but they look legit. They've got a great head coach, got a very good run game. No more Lamar contract issues. So that's why we're going to take just tease up Ravens plus 6.5 because they are minus 3.5. Next one, we got this. So like I said, the Ravens have a very good running game. Watch out for this guy, Keaton Mitchell. If you're in like a 12-man fantasy league deep team, he might be somebody to pick up. His rushing yards, I've been monitoring. I've been watching the line. I think it started this morning at like 31.5 on FanDuel. It's like 34.5. It keeps going up. Everybody keeps talking about him. So 2 weeks ago, he had I believe 138 yards against a very good Seattle Seahawks defense. And last week he had 64 versus the Cleveland Browns defense. Their defense is absurd. So I think he can definitely get 25 plus. And then Gus Edwards, like I said, the Ravens, how they're going to attack the Bengals is their rush game. He's got Mark Andrews, he's got Odell, he's got Zay Flowers, but they run the ball a lot. So I think Gus Edwards could definitely get 40 plus. I think his over under was about 44.5. So we're going to play it safe, 40 plus. And then T. Higgins questionable tomorrow. Joe Burrow might be down a lot in this game. He's going to have to throw the ball. So definitely Jamar Chase 60 plus tomorrow. I forget what his normal line is. It's pretty high. He's a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL when healthy. So stay tuned to that. If T. Higgins is out, even if T. Higgins is playing, he hasn't been normal T. Higgins this year. So I think Chase is going to go off tomorrow. And then this is the one me and Dalt both like. Lamar Action Jackson, anytime touchdown, plus 175. This is what makes the parlay. A lot of these legs are safe, minus 300, minus 245. This is where we're taking a chance here. I think it can definitely hit. The only problem is the Ravens get down to this red zone, right? They've got Lamar's so lethal with his legs. He can easily sneak in, but I think they've got Keaton Mitchell, Gus Edwards are all threats to score. Gus Edwards about plus 100, but I think Lamar's great value at plus 175. That dude is just unreal running the football, and especially when they get down low, they could tush push it. A 3rd and 5, he could fake pass, scramble, get in the end zone. So yeah, we're in for a great game tomorrow. I don't know who's going to win, but I think this parlay could win. That's it. That's what I think can win.
Damn, that's a Ravens deep bet right there. I know you didn't place it. But
yeah,
really...
I still don't know what I'm rooting for because I've
got
a
Ravens fan right here.
No, I've got I had the Ravens to win that division, but I do have Eagles Bengals Super Bowl, so I want the Bengals to get in. So
interesting. You took the Eagles and Bengals in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I had 3
after a rough start.
I had 3 futures with the Birds beginning of the year. I did exact outcome, all of the Eagles winning, so I can hedge once we get Super Bowl time. I did Eagles over the Chiefs first one, Eagles over the Bills. That one's not looking too great, but you don't know. They just fired their offensive coordinator, but the Bills are frauds. And then recently before the Texans game, I took Eagles over Bengals because this is what the fucking Bengals do every year. They start off slow, and then Joe Burrow is always injured, and then once they start clicking, they're the least team in the NFL you want to play. So I have no idea this year. The AFC is absurd. It's loaded. We don't know who's going to get in. The Broncos are coming on. Are they going to get in the playoffs? How about the Texans? How about the fucking Houston Texans? CJ Stroud. They might win that division. I just cashed out my future on the I had a minus 130 Jags to win the division. I took my money back. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. The Jags had the Titans this week. Derrick Henry kills them. That's another bet we could look forward to. Derrick Henry always scores a touchdown against the Jags, so that's a maybe. And then right after the Titans, the Jaguars have the Texans. So All right. Yeah. No more about other teams. So just two other. I love this parlay. I have just two other bets to look out for. Like you said, Hoss shook his head. The Broncos Sunday Night Football against the Vikings. Josh, they're 2.5 at home. The Broncos. Hey man, my friends gave me shit this year. Beginning of the year, I said, I'm telling you, the Broncos were a joke last year, but watch out. Sean Payton's an actual head coach. He said beginning of the year to Russell Wilson, stop being a drama queen and kissing babies and stuff in public. Do you want to be a celebrity or do you want to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback like you used to be? And yeah, now the Broncos are actually coming on, but they have Josh Dobbs, who's looking very good on the Vikings. But if Jefferson stays out, I like the Broncos at home. And then one other one, you guys aren't going to like this as Eagles fans. I do like the line keeps moving, but I do like the Niners against the Bucs at home. The Niners are coming on, but it's okay. They're going to beat up on these fraudulent teams, and then we're going to shit on them. Cry, Debo, cry. That's all I got to say.
Love it. Love it. There were just some interesting bets. I may have to, get back into my betting phase because I kind of took a little break from it.
Responsible.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
I had a little break because I wasn't winning, so I had to take.
Hey man, the one meme where it's like a minor, the thing where you stop betting and then it's like diamonds on the other side. That's all I gotta say. One parlay, man, and you can retire.
For sure. I mean, we clearly seen it with the guy that came on last week. He bet for the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Rangers to be in the World Series and the Rangers to win, and he won $80K. So
speaking of that, I had at Decker Locks, we're pretty damn good at futures. I had the Rangers at plus 15-1 in the summer to win it all, and then I got Corey Seager, I think right at the beginning of the Astro Series, World Series MVP plus 17-1. So I've hit some crazy futures, guys. I'm telling you, I want to help everybody out. I think tonight was Cy Young. I had Acuna for MVP this year at plus 10-1. So that's going to cash tomorrow. That'll be a nice little payday. So excited for that.
Dude, you're going to make me fucking poor.
we love your input on these bets there, Decker. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Enjoy your little chicken. We love your little chicken.
I'll enjoy it, man. Trust me.
Dalton, you're muted, bud.
There it is. Yep, there it is. Love rotisserie
Dalton,
chicken.
you're muted.
Dalton, you fucking dumbass, you're muted.
There we go. Sorry, I was going to say Decker. Make sure to follow him on all social media platforms, Decker Locks. We're always tagging him on our Instagram, so you can find all of his fun content on there. But he's just going to tear up that chicken in the background while we get into our next segment. But I want to kick it actually to Matt to kick off this segment because he was the one with this genius idea of giving these geniuses a report card so far. So, I mean, you got both coordinators and Sirianni left to right. Give me a little grade rating for them.
Halfway through the season, I'm giving Sirianni an A. I'm giving Sirianni an A. He's dealt with a lot of injuries so far on this team, but for some reason they keep winning. They're coming out. They're managing the games how they need to be managed, and they're coming out with the wins. When we're starting to look, selectively at the offense or the defense, that's when it starts getting a little shaky. Early in the season, I was ready to give Desai, like a, I don't know, B+, A-, but I mean, the past couple of weeks have been a little concerning. He's not making the changes that we were making at the beginning of the year. Our run game we're doing great stopping the run still in the NFL, but the passing is a big concern. Our defense is not getting to the quarterback, and it doesn't really seem like he's playing as aggressive as he was at the beginning of the season. For that reason, I'd put it. What's up?
So go ahead, give a grade, and then I'll for that.
I was gonna put him down at like a B because the defense is still playing very good. We have a lot of injuries, and but I'm not seeing the aggressiveness that we saw at the beginning of the year. And for that reason, I'm out. No, I'm kidding.
Shark Tank.
You want me to go offense, or did you have something to say?
Yeah, do the last one too. Not all three out.
Johnson, I'm sorry. And then Brian Johnson on offense. It's funny. You look at these grades, and Eagles number 1 in passing, number 1 in rushing yards per game, even though they haven't been rushing the ball at all the last 3. It's like crazy. But like, I really don't think it's him because I still think the play calling sucks. I still think the play calling is bad. I think they're pansies. They're not playing aggressive. They're like, this team is not. But then like you look at the stats and you're like, we're playing better than we did last year. And it doesn't make much sense to me. And the only conclusion I can get to is that it's the players that are good, not the offensive coordinator. So I'm putting Brian Johnson down at like a C+. You know, we're 9-1 or 8-1. I'm sorry. And so you can't give him any much lower than a C+, but I mean, because we're still winning games, but God, I want him to be better. That's all. That's all. That's what I gotta say. Those are my grades for halfway through the season.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you on Nick Sirianni being at it like an A right now. I mean, we're getting the W's, we're making good decisions. The only issue is, and it's gotten a little better, is the red zone. I'm not sure if that's his fault or Brian Johnson's, but I definitely will give him an A on that. For the defense, I mean, I'm still going to give it an A. I just think our defense has played very well this season. And, you know, granted, we've had a lot of injuries. I mean, our D-line's playing phenomenal. We have the only scary issue was Bradbury when we played against the Cowboys. He was getting burnt all the time. But, I mean, it's just a matter of if we can stay healthy, I think our defense is going to, you know, perform well. We're not playing as aggressive as we were at the beginning of the season. But I really do think how we play against the Chiefs offense with our defense. And I can kind of get a better gauge on that. And also during the Gauntlet. And then Brian Johnson. I think I'm going to give him a D because it just seems like, well, one, we really do miss Shane Steichen for sure. I really do think that if we still had Shane Steichen this year, I think it'd be completely different. Offense will be playing well, but we're not really utilizing Jalen Hurts as much as we did last season. It's kind of concerning. We kind of don't run the same play and kind of backtrack on it. But at the same time, Jalen Hurts is still playing very well, but it's a matter of these interceptions that he's throwing. I mean, he's had the most interceptions in the first 7 weeks that he did last year. So I'm not so satisfied with Brian Johnson's play calling at all. So that's why I'm gonna give it a D.
What about you, Dalton? What are you thinking?
Unlike Jack, I'm not going to be giving anybody any D anytime soon. Yeah. I have
things rough at home, Dalt.
Pause.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just talking about in regards to these coaches because I think that they're doing that good of a job. And I noticed here on this graphic, I was thinking about it a second ago. Ash put a BD. You guys know what that reminds me of? BDN. Big Dick Nick. Sorry. Had to. Anytime that we can bring up our Super Bowl, you know we're going to.
You're thinking about a lot of men's genitalia tonight, Dutch.
I had to stall while I finished my chewing before I make my serious point and talk like an auctioneer for you. But let's get into it.
He had something else in his mouth.
All right. We're going left to right. Starting off with Sean Desai. I'm actually going to give Sean Desai a B+. I thought that Matt's grade was pretty fair with a B. I think he's done a little bit better than people have thought. And hey, look, he's better than Jonathan Gannon, right?
Yes.
Like he puts more of a foot up his ass than Jonathan Gannon of these guys. So I like that. I think he's better. I don't think he's perfect. I still really miss our old defensive coordinator. What was it? John?
The guy is the head coach for, not that coach. The
Detroit Lions. Jim
Schwartz.
Oh, Jim Schwartz.
On the Browns.
He's on the Browns.
I don't know why I drew a blank on his nickname, but that guy is the kind of guy that will put his foot up your ass that you would be scared if he was screaming at you. Look, I'm not saying Sean Desai isn't. I'm just saying I think that some of the players probably look at him more like, and it's an age thing. I think more is like an equal versus like a superior or like a, I don't know. authoritative figure versus like that old guy. He's got on the sunglasses. He's screaming at you like Tom said. That Delco. You need that Delco coach. Hustle, hustle. Hey, get the hell in. You know what I mean? That. Sirianni, I think, has done a good job. I still think that there's more that can come out of him. I'm going to give him a B+2, actually. I think that he can still be doing a little bit more. Sometimes I don't like the antics as much just because that associates risk, and we don't need any risk right now. We're strictly business. I love I know what I'm fucking doing, but if we ever get in trouble for that or something like that in a key moment of a Super Bowl, it's not going to be cool anymore. It's not going to be funny. It's just going to be upsetting. Do it as much as you want in the regular season. Get it out now. It's entertaining. It's great. I'm just saying I hope that he has enough sense that when the playoffs come on to remember, hey, I'm a coach too. I got to also watch my game because I can't get ejected from this game because, I'm an integral piece of the offense. And last but not least, Mr. Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator. I'm going to give him a B. I think that the offense has been a lot better lately. I'll give you a grace period with the first couple of games, but I'm giving him a B because there's so much more that you can be doing, I feel, in the run game right now. Yes, okay, in the beginning of the season you had it, but you've kind of lost it. DeAndre Swift has kind of fallen off towards the end of the year. He hasn't really been as consistent as he was, and it's almost like letting a Lamborghini sit under your garage unused. So you got to play with DeAndre Swift. He's in his hometown. He's going to be more juiced than ever, and you don't want that guy going into the playoffs when you should be running the ball rusty or not built for the regular season. I'm not saying beat the wheels off him. I'm just saying utilize him. And that's what I got.
All right.
Tommy, did you go yet? Did you give your grading?
I'll give my grading.
Yeah. So my.
Sean. Tom.
Go ahead, Sean.
Quick. Tom.
Go
quick. Do it quick. Let's do it.
Go
rapid
quick,
fire. Let's
fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian Johnson, C. Dude has not done anywhere close to the level of play calling and creativity that you need in a winning offense. And he luckily has insane playmakers in A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts who can make him look good. He is this year's Jonathan Gannon. And I'll give him this, though.
Damn.
Jonathan Gannon never once tried to improve. And Brian Johnson has. So I give him credit for that. Whereas I gave Jonathan Gannon a D despite how great our defense was last year. I give him a C. But his C can improve. If Desai gets an A- in my book, dude has had to reinvent and figure it out with all the injuries and all the different things to go on. As the first-year defensive coordinator, I give him all the props in the world that it's actually done pretty well this year. And Sirianni gets an A because he's the glue that gets everything together. And back-to-back years with one of the tougher schedules. Actually, it was the toughest schedule going into this season, and being 8-1, he gets an A.
Cool. All right, Sean, real quick.
I hate to interrupt, but we finished the chicken, so just want
real quick. So Sirianni, I'll give him an A because Sirianni is, of course, the head coach, and he keeps on winning these games. Going to Brian Johnson, I give him a B-. You guys might think I'm crazy, but he's number 2 in points, number 2 in yards, number 1 in first downs, and a top 5. I'm reading this off this. Top 5, both in rushing and passing. So, yes, like Tommy said, we're not getting the most elusive Jalen Hurts that we got, but he's still improving as an offensive coordinator. Every week you see him do it. And I think it's just because we've said it before. We were very, very, very spoiled last year to see how we actually played. So I think he's doing a great job. I want him to keep on targeting the A.J. Brown, of course, Devonta Smith. It sucks that you lose Dallas Goedert, but yes, I want to see more of DeAndre Swift. Now going to Sean Desai, I don't think it's all on him. I think he's making good plays and good play calls on the defense. It's just that we're not getting enough pressure on the offensive line and the offense in general on the quarterback. If you get enough pressure, then it takes stress off your defensive backs, like we've seen in the past. Like, I mean, they're getting burned left and right. If you get pressure on the quarterback, there's less time to throw the ball, and then that means that there's less yardage that you're going to give up. So I feel like if that happens, then the defense will all click together, and it also helps that you're getting players back like Bradley Roby and so on and so on. Eli Ricks is coming back. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely one step to improvement, but I think that they're going to be coming out firing Monday night.
Awesome. Well, now
So I give him
great
a B+.
Awesome. Great topic there, Big House. Moving on up. Sean kind of hinted to it, like week 10, Monday Night Football. Let's talk about this Super Bowl rematch, and see what we kind of expect to come out of this game.
I'm expecting a fucking blowout.
I'm not saying a blowout. I'm going to say it's going to be a close game. I think the Eagles will take the dub. Like I said earlier, Jalen Hurts has that dog in him. He has very frustrated about. He sat on the bench at the Super Bowl just looking in the distance like, fuck, I came this close and I lost the game. So I think that's going to give some fire in his stomach to play out of his mind against the Chiefs. I mean, who wouldn't want to play, beat the Super Bowl champions who you guys lost to last year? Like, this is going to be a great game. I just think Jalen Hurts is going to play out of his mind. He had a whole week to heal up from his injury. Got the dub in Philly against the Cowboys. So I'm expecting a lot out of Jalen Hurts. I think that bye week was huge for us as a whole team. Knock out the bruises and bumps and whatever you have. But yeah, I think Jalen Hurts is going to go off. I think he's going to have 250 yards passing. I think he's going to have one rushing touchdown. I think Devontae Smith is going to have 115 yards receiving. I think Adrian Brown's going to have 115 yards receiving. You guys call me crazy for saying that against the Dolphins, and it was very damn close to what
you just said 250 yards for Jalen Hurts, and then you said AJ Brown 115, and then Devontae Smith 115.
100 from Devontae Smith, 115 from AJ Brown. There we go. This game's gonna be.
Just give him 350.
Fuck everyone else.
Exactly.
But I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see the most complete game we've seen from the Eagles so far.
For sure.
I think that's why I think it's going to be a blowout. I think we're going to be clicking on all cylinders because of the implications of this game and how it relates to how our season ended last year. Every single person on this team has that chip on their shoulder, like we should have won that game, and we're going to show them that we should have won that game. And the last time the Eagles played the Chiefs in regular season, Travis Kelce got the upper hand. He kissed Jason Kelce on the cheek, and Jason Kelce did not look happy, so I think he's going to be out there for some vengeance. Maybe pancaking some defenders. I don't know. I could see it. I think Byard's going to have an interception. I think we're going to see him, I think we could see him shadowing Travis Kelce because our linebackers, I don't trust them. Even though Cunningham's having a quiet good year. He's like top-ranked linebacker right now, Cunningham. I just think we're going to have a good game on both defense and offense, even though I just shat on our defensive coordinator and our offensive coordinator. But I think it's going to happen. Like, I think, they're going to come out and they're going to play that complete game of football that we've been looking for this season.
Yeah, and that's a thing, complete. I mean, we've had a whole week to practice with Brian Johnson's offense and our defense. So I really think that's the great way to put it. Haas, complete game.
You think it's going to be a blowout, Sean? Yeah.
I love your
hat.
I
mean, it's going to be a very good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Yes, sir. I had to wear it. It's one of our sponsors. So going back to it though, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I know Kansas City has looked bad in the past, and they lost to the Broncos. Not only lost, they got blown out by the Broncos. But I mean, I just don't think it's going to be a close. I mean, just a big wide gap game. I think that like Jack said, 3-point game, maybe 7, if that. So yeah, I think it's going to be very, very close. I mean, yeah, I have Jalen Hurts. I mean, he had 2 weeks rest basically. He had the bye week and then this full week and an extra day because you don't play on Sunday, you play on Monday. So yeah, he's had enough rest to fully get back into his rhythm. And yeah, I mean, I just think it's going to be an all good game around. This is the best Monday Night Football matchup that we've seen this whole season and probably will see all season long. And yeah, I think it's their revenge game. I think the Eagles come out firing, and yeah, they all click together and have a complete game.
Tommy, you're looking very peculiar and smart. Break this down for me, please.
Well, Jackson, I'm glad you have brought me into this. So, Dutch, tell me, where was America founded? Please tell me.
Do you want to know the area code or would you want to know the first state?
I want to know the city. The city upon this great nation was founded.
Wasn't it like Jamestown, Virginia? No.
The
It
Declaration was signed in Philadelphia. Dummy.
Clearly, this is why I have the glasses, Dutch. America was founded in Philadelphia by the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Why did America need to sign that Declaration of Independence? Because we had the Stamp Act, we had the Tea Act, we had to have the massacre up in Massachusetts, and the Battle of Concord, all to take place for America to go upon and fight against the British upon these unfair and unjust rules, just as these treasonous and fascist referees did in the final closing minutes of the Super Bowl, unfairly impose their laws and will upon the people. The people did not want to see a referee pinstripe victory, and little yellow mustard stained confetti upon the ground. They wanted to see a true champion, and one that was built from the ground up in Jalen Hurts, who faced adversity. Therefore, it's going to be hell to pay this upcoming Monday Night Football. It is going to be
brick wall, Dutch.
They are coming. They are representing America. We have America's new team. We have always been and always will be America's team, because America was founded here, and we are going to kick some ass on Monday Night Football.
So, Tommy, you're not a big, motivational guy, but I want to run through a brick wall right now. That made me want to run through a wall. Oh,
I gotta contact NBC Sports Philadelphia and have you do the next pumped up video. Ballpark Tommy.
Actually, really actually helps us into our next segment. Well, our mini segment, I should say, which is
time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dalton, the mayor of Delaware.
Back on with the glasses because I'll be kicking all your asses.
Okay, Tommy.
You really sound like that Delco coach tonight.
So, thank you, Tick Pick, for sponsoring this mini segment. Tonight's question we got is which well-known charity? Actually, pause. Bring up the leaderboard right now. Actually, never mind. All right, rewind. The question we have for tonight is which well-known charity did the Eagles help develop? Which well-known charity did the Eagles help develop? A, Coats for Kids. B, Ronald McDonald House. C, Make-A-Wish Foundation. Or D, SPCA. Which well-known charity did the Eagles help develop? A, Coats for Kids. B, Ronald McDonald House. C, Make-A-Wish. Or D, SPCA. We'll give you the answer at the end of the show.
Perfect. Thank you.
Matt,
And
that
that is
I
actually
already sent it in.
Huh?
I said before Matt accuses me of anything, I already sent it in.
I did too, bitch.
Uh-oh, getting a little competitive because it's close, and we'll get into the score in a minute. But we got one more segment for you guys tonight. Now look, this is one of those a classic he said, she said, allegedly. So Jalen Carter allegedly, over the past night, there's a rumor thrown around that he was caught shoplifting. The story goes, or so be it, that him and his girlfriend, I guess, were at a grocery store. They got into an argument, and I guess he, in frustration, walked away and threw his grocery bags up. I don't know if I consider that shoplifting. It sounds like when security approached him, he was like, take the food, obviously. It wasn't confrontational. But this is all allegedly. My point is, it isn't allegedly that Jalen Carter out today doing some good things, doing some service. That's not stuff that you see in the national media. Do I think that this is true? Obviously not, hopefully not. But unfortunately, over the past 24 hours, there's been more and more videos popping up about it. I just want to say, if it is true, it's not really a good look. I couldn't really see any reason why it would be true. You're an NFL player making millions of dollars. There should be no reason to shoplift. So I don't buy it. I don't think it's true. And it's kind of frustrating that rumors like this can swirl around so fast. So I do want to kind of come to these players' defense. This is why I personally think athletes should not be on social media or should deactivate it, at least during the season. If things like this are popping out all the time, you're going to hear about it on the radio, but at least stuff like this that may be, an allegedly thing, he may never hear about. But because he's on social media, I mean, just because his name and the hashtag it's associated with, I've seen a ton of videos about it on TikTok, a ton of videos about it popping up on YouTube. But not a good look, like I said, if it's true, but not buying it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think even if he did shoplift, with the story that you said, he clearly didn't mean to shoplift, which is, I mean, it's still against the law. I understand that. But, he makes millions of dollars. And, I'm sure when he realized that he shoplifted, he probably went back to the grocery store and probably paid a lot of money, being like, I'm sorry. I don't know. I just think that people are trying to get clicks. They're saying he shoplifted. What was it, yesterday or today?
This whole story popped up last night. And it's been some guy that's known to make rumors on Twitter.
Yeah, so it happens yesterday. He wouldn't go out into the city today and give back to the public if he was wanted for shoplifting by the cops. It doesn't add up. I think the guy's just trying to get clicks. But like you said, social media is a dangerous place for these athletes. They do one wrong thing. Even if he was arguing with his girlfriend, maybe someone saw him, but he did pay for his groceries or something. But I don't know. It's a dangerous place out there, and you just got to read everything with caution.
A rookie mistake. Maybe these young athletes, they don't need a girlfriend and they don't need social media. Because stories like this, if they're true, both things are avoided. So much stress, I think, goes into both of them. Jack, Sean, Tommy.
I mean, I'll just say one thing. Okay, if you just said, this guy is known for making rumors on social media, so that should just tell you, take everything he says with a grain of salt. I think Jalen Carter is a great person. He's in hot water right now with what happened in Georgia, so I don't think he would do something like that to put himself more at risk. So at this point, it's just okay, something to talk about. This is what all social media is. Little things like that. Oh my God. Taylor Swift said Travis Kelce in her song. Holy shit. No one cares. You're just trying to get likes. You're just trying to make a name for yourself. No, it not that big of a deal. I don't think we need to worry about this because all we really care about is football. And if he killed somebody, if he actually killed the the guy shot somebody in the store, then that's an issue. But that this is not a serious piece of something to talk about.
I'll say this. shame on that person for just spreading rumors without knowing all the facts. Like, could this have happened? Maybe, maybe not. Shame on us too for bringing up this topic, not knowing if this is true or not. Shame on everyone who's spreading this. That's all I have to like. I don't like that this is being spread. I don't like that this is being used as clickbait, and I don't even like us talking about this, because all it is giving that guy more publicity and more clicks, because people are now going to look this up on YouTube, on Twitter, or X, whatever it is now, and look up this story and give this guy a more clicks, which is what he was looking for.
And on that note, Tom doesn't want to be seen on TweetSnap or TweetGram or whatever the fuck you kids are on these days. Thank you, Tom. I think you hit that beautifully to end the topic. Shame on us for sure. Hit the nail on the head. But trivia time. Now it's time to see where these competitors are at. A little score check. The fans are at 5. Matt's at 6. Tommy's at 8. Dalton's at 5, Josh is at 3, Ashley's at 6, and Big Sean is at 5. But I will kick it to Jackson now to tell us what the deal is.
Yes. Again, thank you, TickPick, for that sponsorship. The question again we had was, which well-known charity did the Eagles help develop? A, Coats for Kids, B, Ronald McDonald House, C, Make-A-Wish Foundation, or D, SPCA? And the answer is...
I'm already celebrating.
B, Ronald McDonald House.
Fuck so, yeah.
What that means?
I'm back.
What that means is Dalton got it right. So now Dalton has 6. Sean got it wrong. He's still at 5. Matt got it right. So now he's at 7. And Tommy is at 9 right now.
Fuck!
Everybody cough on your pillow and mail it to the Salucci household so we can get Tom sick and out for an episode and hopefully catch up on this, man. Jesus. We got to get him the belt if he wins it.
Taking it by storm right now.
It's about to be busy season. That's what's really going to take me out. Let's be honest.
Well, no, February. This will be done in February once season 5 is over after the Super Bowl. So if you can hold out until then.
Busy season starts in January.
All right, guys. So Tom's stacking up the wins right now. Let's see. Maybe a little comeback for some of us. But this has been fun. And the fans didn't get it either. Nobody in the comments.
Yeah, tonight on the comments, there was not really much action. So there was no answers or anything like that.
What the fuck, guys? Sorry.
Yeah. We had consistent 10 watchers and no one commented. So yeah, they're still at 3 or 5 right now. So
see,
we'll update that for next week. What, Sean?
See here, I was so confident in my answer with Make-A-Wish because the Eagles have the Autism Foundation and Jeffrey Lurie's son has autism. So I was thinking hey, I just guessed, but I was totally confident in my answer, and it obviously was wrong.
Hey, that's how this game goes. Yeah, there was very briefly one of the ex-Eagles, Fred Hill. He was a tight end. His daughter had leukemia. So the owner at the time, Leonard Tose, rallied and started pledging for this. So that's how it became, a thing. So, as you know,
go Birds.
Go Birds.
And I do want to thank Decker Locks for coming on the show. We're going to try to make this a weekly thing with him. We're going to be doing a lot more content with Decker. He's going to be coming out to tailgates. He is officially joining us now. I guess that eventually we'll have to get you in on the trivia too. But I guess we'll be a weekly thing on Wednesdays. Will you wait to eat your dinner with us?
I can do that. I can do that. Today was torture. I'll tell you that. Dude, the rotisserie is not even that hard. I thought I was so scared about it. Dude, I got something wrong with me. I'm still hungry.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You're just an animal. You're just eating more lots.
Okay, hold up. You guys want to hear what I ate today? So I started this morning a peanut butter sandwich, 3 slices of pizza. I don't even want to say.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a lot of food already.
You guys want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look forward. We're gonna have a Thanksgiving special next week, right? Because Wednesday is when we're going, Thursday is Thanksgiving. So, stay tuned for that. Dalton, if you have anything, it looks like your fucking studio's popping off right now. But yeah, without further ado, great episode. Appreciate everyone listening. And Dalton, what?
One last thing, if you guys are not doing anything on Monday night, come out to Klondike Kate's with us. We have the whole second floor to ourselves, especially if you're a Salesian alum. There's an emphasis for Sally's guys. But if you're not doing anything, please come watch the Chiefs game with us. Even if maybe you can watch for the first half, whatever. Tons of great food, a great atmosphere. And we will be doing a pre-game show. Also, we're doing a toy drive. If you or a local business owner that may want one of our boxes, please let us know and we'll get one in your hands. So far, I think we have like 5 or 6 businesses. We even have a Lowe's that we're going to be teaming up with. Loving Lowe's right now. That's how this studio is popping off. But that's all we got. So, Jack, I will kick it to you to end it like we always do.
It looks like we have a new member called Dalter. So nice to meet you, Dalter. Appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
Yeah, I'm Decker's twin brother. I eat tacos when he eats rotisserie chicken. So stay tuned.
All right. Well, without further ado, Josh has been busy. Love Josh to death. Hey, Josh, it's an outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro, please.
What nice manners, Jack.
Get over.
I'm coming for that Aspen trivia, Tommy.
It's nice to see that.